We are going to record to the computer. So here we are, you guys. Welcome. It's week, what is it? 4? 5. Week 5. 4. Week 5. Anyway, we are doing eyes and brows. Thorn is at work watching Got It. So shh. We've had people do that before. You're like earpiece in, hat, hair over the earpiece, just listening, all the things. So we're gonna jump right in, you guys. I hope you're okay with that. Just jumping right on in to our color certification. So in order to really remind you guys of what's going on here, I want you guys to remember that color certification um, runs 6 weeks. We did skip that 1 week, but this week is eyes and brows. Next week will be session 6, and then session 3 I will plop after all of that for you guys. Yes, you can still be earning the beautiful brush set and Compact Pro and the palettes and all that wonderfulness. 6 live attendances, and you've got the brush set with the Compact Mini and the Custom Compact. And then when you have 6 guests on live with us, then you're getting the add-on 4 brushes plus the Pro palette. Eyes and brows are what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm hoping that if I move quick enough, I'll be able to actually demo some of the eyes and brows on myself for you guys. So with no further ado, let's jump on in here. First thing that it's important to understand with eyes and brows are the shapes of our eyes. The shapes of our eyes completely makes a difference on how you're going to apply the colors. So one thing you want to know, for example, with me, I have standard eyes. We'll talk more about that. But there is such a thing as closed set, which means your eyes are just a little closer together. And when that happens, you'll notice that it's important to keep your brightest, lightest shade, like lots of it. And then that dark shade stays way outside. If your eyes are closed set, we're trying to create the illusion of them being slightly wider set, right? We're trying to spread them apart by bringing bright down the middle. If you have wide set eyes, which pretty much means the entire, if you look at the shape of your eyes, if you can fit one more additional eye between your two eyes, that's borderline wide set right there. And so all you're trying to do is keep the dark shades in. So you would apply your dark shades a little closer in on the eye, not so far out, and you would use way less bright colors toward the nose so that it's creating the illusion that those eyes are more closed set instead of wide. Deep set tends to create a huge shadow over that eyelid, and therefore it's really important to pull the shadow out with your lightest, brightest color. So that's where that number 1, lots of it on a deep set eye, and then just barely any, because you'll notice if you have a deep set eye, there's not a lot of brow right here to play with. So you just put a little bit under there. You'll notice every single one of these still gets to have the brow highlighted with this little bit of your lightest color, so it still accentuates the shape of the brow. We always want to accentuate the shape of the brow. It's just how much of that number 1 color you use depends on the shape of your eye. Hooded means that sometimes when that person opens and closes their eyes, that lid completely disappears. Therefore, the color that's here should be the same that is the color here. The color that's here should be the same that's the color here. Because if you put anything different here than here, they're going to open their eyes and you won't see it. It just disappears. So don't even bother with that, other than right along that lash line. If you want to brighten and have a little pop, right along that lash line is where they will see it. So when they do open their eyes, you do still see it with hooded eyes. The best way to know is when they open their eyes, can you still see it? Is the eyeshadow still there? Asian eyes tend to not have the hood. Therefore, we create the shape of a hood. We pretend there's a hood there, and we accentuate the heck out of those beautiful brow bone. It's absolutely stunning. But we do create a little bit of a pretend shadow, a little right there to give the illusion of a crease. Now, a standard eye, typical to have your number 1 lightest shade toward the nose, under that brow. Color number 2 creates that arch, but color number 3 accentuates, and that's pretty standard. And then all of these other versions play off of that depending on what type of eye shape you have. Now, if we move along here, more on these eyes, almond eyes tend to be like literally the shape of an almond, but if you're round, you'll notice. So almond are a little bit more pointed on the ends, like an almond. Round eyes tend to be bigger, big, lots of white. There's lots of white with round eyes. And then of course you've got the wide set. So more than it, like if I took this eye and copied it and put it in the middle, there's more space. That means they're wide set. Most of us can fit one eye between the two eyes. I know if you could fit a third eye, if it fits, you're standard. If it doesn't fit, it's too small, you're closed set. And if there's a lot of extra space, you're wide set. So that's just some things to be thinking about with light. But we're just going to go a little bit about liners. So like when we're talking about eyeliner, we just talked about shadows and the lightest shade of the shadow and all of that. When you're doing a normal everyday look, sometimes people, when they're playing with eyeliners, they have a tendency to either over apply, put too much on, they try to draw the line, they try to pull their eyelids back. So if you're nervous with an eyeliner, it's best to just do some little like dashes across your eye, and then you can always go back and create that solid lid. You can also go back and smudge it with a smudge brush. You can also go back with our eyeliner crease brush and blend those together to make that nice and soft, just for an everyday look. When your eyes tend to be smaller, if you were to eyeline the entire top lid and bottom lid, it would actually make your eyes look even more small. Therefore, it's important that if you do have smaller eyes, that you go ahead and you can line that top lid, but on that bottom lid, you're just going to tickle a tiny bit, maybe only keep it in the middle, maybe only in the outer third. Don't bring it all the way into the nose, maybe stay halfway out or further, just to create the illusion of those eyes being more open. Your deep set eyes, those are the ones where you want to keep that shadow nice and bright. And if you're going to keep that shadow bright, then it's really important that your eyeliner is thin. If you do all that work with your bright number one eyeshadow that we talked about, if we literally sit here and make, all of this area nice and bright, but then you put a big thick layer of liner right there, it kind of defeats the purpose. Or even here, if you put a big old thick layer, you won't even see it to boot. And then if you've got the hooded eyes, once again, really thin line going on there. And then also keeping it where when you open the eyes, you're not undoing everything that you just did. So some people with hooded eyes even will skip eyeliner, just to be clear, just so you guys know, too much eyeliner, too much. Okay. Now let's move on to mascaras. What mascara is the best mascara for you? And I would just say it all depends on what you want. What do you want? Are you hoping to expand and extend? That would be your lash intensity. Are you trying to fan out the lashes so that they're all just, that would be your lash love. If you want definition, like you literally want each lash to just feel like it's coated, that's your definition with Lash Love. We do not have lash lengthening anymore. And then the ultimate mascara is your volume, girl. And that volume is because for me personally, I like to do 2 coats. That Lash Love is amazing. But what mascara is right for you and how do you know, right? So let's talk about those just a little bit. Our ultimate mascara, which is my absolute favorite, you've got black and you've got also black brown, 2 different colors. I love that it's thick, it's volumizing, it dries really fast, it's smudge proof, water resistant, all of that great stuff. Everything we have is ophthalmologist tested. In addition to that though, it is the one mascara that you can do minking with that makes it great. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. Your Lash Love mascara. This is great for enhancing the natural look of your lashes. It's super flexible. It doesn't dry super fast, so you can play with it just a little bit. It's going to help separate while it's coating the lashes. It's also pulling them apart and separating and creating that definition. It has the Mary Kay Panthenol Pro Complex in there, which is going to actually condition your lashes as well. Great for everyday use. It also is going to give you lots of volume. Give it some time to dry. All of that. I wouldn't recommend wearing it in the pool, the swimming pool, things like that. Your Lash Love Fanorama, same formula, okay? It's going to still have that Lash Love formula, but the Fanorama takes that brush to a whole new level, and it's going to fan out those beautiful lashes, kind of a fluffy, light, if you can imagine taking your definition, but like making the lashes fluffier. Is that a word? When it separates them. And then, of course, that brush is created in such a way that the very, very tip helps you fan those lashes out. And then lash intensity, this is your maximizer. This is like bold, thick, lots of lash, lots of lash. We'll just say that. And what's really fun about that lash intensity is that it's got a very special wand that has little bristles on one side, really long bristles on another side, and the medium-sized bristles yet on a third side. If you can imagine a triangle, this bad boy has it, and it's got every angle for you. This particular formula also has provitamin B5 in there to help protect, condition, and strengthen those lashes. So it's a high impact mascara. It's a ton of fun. And yes, once again, this lash lengthening we no longer have. And that's okay because the Lash Love has got everything for you. If they loved lengthening, they're going to want Lash Love. Okay. All right. Now, for me, I definitely do 2 coats of the Ultimate Mascara. But if you're not a Ultimate Mascara girl, Lori Hogg does say 2 mascaras are better than 1. I highly recommend that you just try putting on 2 mascaras one of these days. If you're not doing Ultimate Black Brown followed by black and do the minking, just try 2 mascaras one day. Try Fanorama, top it off with Lash Intensity. Try doing the Lash Love and top it off with the Ultimate. Try doing the Lash Intensity, top it off with Waterproof. What happens if you use 2 mascaras? Whatever you do is if the order of application would be your most natural to your thickest. Okay, so your Fanoramas and your Lash Loves would go first, and then if you were going to top it with something, you would go Lash Intensity, and then if you were still gonna, you would do waterproof formulas, which would be Ultimates or the waterproof. So don't ever put something on top of Ultimate. Don't, unless it's waterproof, which you don't need to. Don't put something on top of waterproof. It kind of ruins the whole purpose of waterproof. But you can put waterproof on top of anything. You can put Ultimate on top of anything other than the waterproof, if that makes any sense. I know that was a lot. Or you could also have a mascara for every occasion. Obviously, if you're swimming, you want the waterproof. If you're just spending the day with some friends out on the beach, you might just toss on a little Lash Love so it can just wash off in the ocean, right? Maybe you don't need the waterproof for that. You just want your mascara to look cute until you get wet or something. If you're just doing an everyday, going out, going shopping, farmer's market, you might be a Fanorama girl. But if you're going bold, I want to wear lots, I want to put on all the eyeshadows, you might mix it up with 2 formulas or even do the minking. So that Lash Love mascara, let's talk about that wand for just a minute. The Lash Love mascara wand is straight. It is stick straight, but it's got a lot of little bristles that are made of silicone. And what's really cool about that is they don't move, they don't get sticky, they don't get gunky. They really do grab your lashes and they separate. They grab those lashes and they separate. So then they took that Fanorama mascara to a whole new level. It's got an hourglass shape. Okay, so this one, stick straight. This one has an hourglass shape. It is so cool to look at with the naked eye. And as you twist it, you can see that hourglass do its thing. So it goes to straight and then you twist it and then you see the hourglass and then you keep twisting it and it looks straight and then you keep twisting it and you see the hourglass. It's so cool. And on the very tip of that wand is extra bristles just for you so that you can comb out your bottom lashes, comb out, separate, do what you need to do. So whenever you pull that wand out of that mascara, make sure you clean that tip off so you can use it. The cool thing about the Fanorama, you want to coat with the hourglass shaped bristles. comb through by twisting, comb through the coated lashes by taking that brush and rounding it and twisting it. And then you take the very tips and you fan out whatever lashes you want to fan out. Maybe it's the very lashes on the far outer edge of your lash, your eye, so you can fan those out. Maybe it's the bottom lashes. You just want to pull those apart. Don't load your bottom lashes brand new, heavily loaded with tons of mascara. Don't go straight to your bottom lashes. Like, I like to wait until my brush is slightly empty before I do the lower lashes. So that is your Lash Love and your Lash Love Fanorama mascaras. And then of course we've got the waterproof mascara and the Ultimate. Now for me, the Ultimate is what I love to do the minking with. As you guys know, when we talk about minking, it is literally like putting two coats on. The brown, the black brown in Ultimate makes it look like you have more lashes, while the Ultimate in black, just on the tips, you focus just on the tips and then you give a nice full stroke, is going to make it look like you have not only more lashes, but they're also going to look longer. So that's going to be super fun with that. So black browns and browns, more lashes, tip it off with the blacks, makes it look like your lashes are longer. That's me. My lashes are not long, so I'm always minking those lashes. And then of course the waterproof mascara over here definitely is going to still give you that same applicator that is in the Lash Love. So you're still separating the lashes really nice, which I love that they did that. I'm so glad that our waterproof has that same applicator and that it's not gunky. That makes me so happy. It's going to make your lashes still look very natural, very flawless, but it's waterproof. So they just kind of stay put and it's waterproof. I love it. 100% tear and humidity proof. Wonderful for weddings, all of that. You can even put that on top of an Ultimate, on top of any of our other mascaras to give a waterproof feel. And again, this mascara has the Panthenol Pro Complex and vitamin E in it. It's going to help strengthen and moisturize those lashes. Can you imagine strengthening and moisturizing while being waterproof at the same time? What? And here's some tips for you guys to be remembering, okay? If you are reaching the end of the life cycle of your mascara, I'm not talking about bacteria, I'm just talking about it's getting a little thick toward the end. You can put your mascara in the sun, you can warm it under warm water, you can use the blow dryer. Anything that makes it warm will help with that spread and make it not be as thick and help it last just a little bit longer. Tip number 2, do not pump your mascara. You're just putting bacteria and air into that, so it's going to dry it out faster and add bacteria faster. And don't forget the 3-month rule. Please replace your mascaras if it's been 3 months, because it takes that long for bacteria to have a happy day. So you just want to remember, if it's been 3 months since I have opened this bad boy, I need to swap it out. Whether it's still got stuff in there or not, you guarantee have bacteria in there now, and it's time for new mascara. Although I will say, because of our smart wipe system on the Ultimate mascara, I think all of them have a great system, but this one is a smart wipe system specifically. I have emptied my mascara before the 3 months is up, and I've also never had clumps because that smart wipe system keeps the air out so well that I do believe that this technology has saved my lashes 100%. The lash intensity now, this bad boy is going to expand the thickness of your lashes by like 200%. It's not a lie. It is not a lie. And that wand, it is like a perfect triangle where one side does one purpose, one side does another. You just keep on rotating that bad boy. It's going to have a well where the short bristles are, where it's going to load up a lot of product. But then as you spin those bristles, that product will then blend out and onto your lash, and it helps you apply properly. It's also going to extend the lash look. So it says the lashes will look extended beyond the tip by 84%. So that means it's literally like, as you twist that lash intensity wand, it's going to pull that color out to the very tips. That's a lot of product going on your lashes. You'll probably go through this one a little bit more often because you are using so much product, but it is such an amazing, exaggerated, beautiful, intense, maximum impact look. I absolutely love this mascara. It's my daughter's favorite. It's all of her girlfriends' favorite. So when she does Christmas stockings and things, they all get lash intensity for sure, for sure. So let's now move on to brows. Some people have these gorgeous, beautiful brows. They're already so pretty. All you gotta do is just a little bit of help. And some of us have no brows, and that would be me. I have no brows. So with that, it's important to know how to help your consultants, whether you want to style a beautiful brow, you just want to brush it with a clear gel. Maybe you want to use the actual eyebrow eyeliner brush to dust a little powder to give the illusion of a brow, or maybe you actually want to use the tint. And then for some of us, that precision brow liner is the best, 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 best. Now, I will tell you the very first time I used my precision brow liner, I broke the tip off like 5 different times because I was so used to pushing hard, not hard, hard, just harder than this. It is so delicate. It is so soft. You barely touch your brow. It's applying. You don't need to push hard at all, but it will break because it is such a tiny, tiny tip. You literally, it's like drawing on each little hair. It is so perfect. You might want to do precision brow liner and then top it off with a brow tint. You might want to do this brush right here and use the tip to apply a powder brush and then top it off with the brow gel. You might want to put the brow gel on first and then do the precision brow liner and then brush it with a dry spoolie. There's so many ways that you can use all of these products. Have fun. Try all the different ways, play with your own eyebrows, grab a girlfriend, say, hey, can I borrow your brows and learn how to do it? Let's talk for a minute though about that application. What does that application look like? It's so important if you guys at all can do this, and I'm going to try to do this with you on my own self here, but we're running out of time. But you want to make sure that you are knowing from the very corner of your nose up to the corner of that brow is where the brow begins. Then you take your, brush, some type of a, maybe it's your brow pencil, and you go from the tip of the nose through the pupil and wherever that ends. So your line goes through the pupil, looking straight, of course, and wherever that line goes, that's where the highest point of your brow should be. And then taking that pencil from the corner of your nose out to the corner of your eye, wherever that tip lands is where the skinniest tippy tip point of your brow should be. So that's a good way to make sure you don't draw those brows too far down, making you look tired, sad, all the things, or like you've got caterpillars on your eyebrows. You don't want that. Everyday brows are great. I've been mentioning yes, brush up, but don't forget to give a little brush down. It's okay if these front guys have a little bit of a pokey poke, but you don't want every single one of these hairs going stick straight up. It can look real crazy. The work brow is very sculpted and beautiful, and your night brow could completely just be done with 2 shades where it gives the illusion of depth. Using 2 shades of precision brow liner, like for me, black, brown, plus brown, it gives depth to the brow so that when you look at it, it doesn't look like, hi, I'm one-dimensional, right? So that's a lot of fun. Okay. Now, just a reminder, next week, session 6, all things lips. We're going to go into pouty lips. We're going to do ombre lips. We're going to do lip liners, lining the outside only, all of that goodness. And of course, you can still be earning your brush sets. All right, we're going to stop the share now so you guys can see me and I can see you. Anybody have questions before I demo some of the products on myself? Any questions? Okay. So, as you guys know, I'm going to do this as best I can. I'm going to bring you close to me. I have almond eyes. I have almond eyes. And so what's important to know is, can you guys hear that really loud sound outside my, okay, good. I'm so glad you can't hear it. So when we were talking about the brows, nose, through the corner of the eye and up, and wherever that lands is where your brow should begin. Nose through your pupil, wherever that lands is where the high part of your brow should be. Nose through the outer edge of your eye, wherever that lands is where the tippy spot of your brow should be, okay? But today, I want to show you guys what I do, and I realize I won't have enough time to go through all of my eyes, but sorry, he's right outside my window. I can hear him very well. Okay, so one thing I like to do, I'm just going to do one eye and then I'm going to be crooked for the whole rest of my meeting. But I like to take biscotti. Now, one of those slides that I showed you guys was shimmer versus no shimmer. Can I wear shimmer if I have fine lines? I have fine lines. I just make sure I don't put a whole bunch of shimmer on all my fine lines. So yes, you can wear shimmer if you have fine lines. The key is going to be right now, as I'm brightening the eye area, I'm doing biscotti. I'm not doing crystalline. I'm just trying to brighten the eye. Do you see what I did? I just brightened. Now, the reason I want to brighten is because now I want to tell the crease where I want the crease to be. Some of you are like, oh, well, you have a crease. You don't need to do that. Well, I do because I love contrast. So I'm going to keep using this brush. It's so loud. You probably can hear them now, huh? Anyway, I'm going to go to hazelnut. Once again, matte on matte. Now, if you're younger, you guys can totally grab colors with shimmer. When I first started Mary Kay, Moonstone was my favorite color, but this is hazelnut now. And I'm going to, if you guys remember that, I'm going to focus out here and I'm going to try to keep the inner area bright. So here we go. I'm going to create that crease right there. And I'm going to come down a little bit. This is my hazelnut. Hazelnut is not my darkest shade. Do you see how I raised where the crease exists in my eyes? Do you see it? I kind of brought it up here. My crease is naturally way down here, but I brought it just slightly above. So when I open my eyes, do you see the difference? Can you see it? So it just makes me look a little bit more awake. That's all. So all that was hazelnut. This is the most subtle thing I'm doing, you guys. I'm not doing a lot. Now I'm going to grab, like, say, a Cinnabar. I'm still doing mattes right now. I'm still doing mattes. And now I'm going to create oh, this is really hard. This camera is not my friend. It's not my friend, but that's all right. So I'm going to come out here to create that depth. Now remember, if you have eyes that are close together, you want lots of bright. If you have eyes that are further apart, you want to bring this even further in. If you have hooded eyes, you're probably not going to get away with this because you're going to open your eyes and it's going to disappear. So you're going to want to bring you're going to do more of a half and half look and create a brightness, but you're going to extend it all the way up above that hooded eye. So when you open your eye, it doesn't disappear. So anyway, this darker shade, this is my number 3 color. I'm just creating it and I'm bringing it way out here to create like my eyes don't naturally have a shape out here. They just don't. I'm trying to create that shape with eyeshadow. So I'm bringing it out so that you can actually see. Can you guys see it? Do you see the difference of what I've done? So that's fun. And of course I can keep going. I just don't want to go for too long on this. Okay. So that's just giving you an idea of how I can open up my eye area just a little bit. I just want to fix my lashes. Okay. So does my eye look just a little bit more open? You guys, there's literally no eyeshadow over here. None. So really simple to do. It doesn't take a lot. And then if you want, you can just blend once you've done it. You just blend everything together and you've got a nice, soft little everyday look. But I don't have to look like I have a whole lot of eyeshadow on. That's not the goal. I'm not trying to teach you guys that. All right, let's talk about eyeliner. When we're talking about eyeliner, let's go to brows first, since I have brows in my hands. So I did brunette today already because I wanted you all to see what a lighter brow can look like. But I do have dark brunettes in here as well so that you guys can see how adding a second, 1 second. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do my best, you guys. You're gonna get up close right now. So, I can't see. Here we go. Oh, little hairs, little hairs, little hairs, little hairs. And then under, and I'm barely pushing you guys because I just want to create depth to the already existing brown, but I don't want to go too crazy. And I do like that under right here to be kind of crisp. And I like to make sure the top, okay? So do you see how I just created a deeper, but it's not black. It's just a little more. It's just a little more than what this is. This was still okay, but this had depth. Black and brown together creates depth. That's all. If I just went straight to this, it would look like I have black eyebrows. So please hear my heart. If you're going to do a darker shade, mix it with a lighter. So don't just go hot with a dark brown. Like the dark brunette for me, if I did it all by itself, would just look like a little too much. Except for when I dyed my hair really dark. You guys remember that? Then I could wear the dark brown. The dark brunette, and it worked. Okay. Now let's go to eyeliner and black versus brown, right? You guys are like, oh my gosh, should I do black? Well, I'm going to do black so you guys can actually see it. And I'm going to do one of our old pencils only because I personally love wearing the liquid eyeliner pen. But today I want to show you how, and this is for Tina's girls, if they're still on. Are they still on, Tina? Are they still on? Okay, because this is what you don't want to do. Should I do it? I'm gonna look so funny all night, you guys. Okay, what? I almost can't do it. I don't have a heart. What you don't want to do when you're young is grab the waterline and just go really dark on black. You know what I'm talking about, you guys? I can hardly see what I'm doing. Or pull the eye and just go like, oh, I'm just gonna eyeline the whole entire eye. Okay. I've closed my eye. Even though it works, my eye looks smaller. Can you guys see it? Because right now I don't have my glasses on. Just give me a thumbs up. I can see you guys. I just can't see okay. So now let's try opening the eye instead. So what if instead of starting way down here, I came up here just a tiny bit with my liner. And I stopped it about halfway. And I have no idea if you guys can see this. Stop it about halfway. It's going to bring that up. And then if I want to open my eyes more, I'm just going to do a tiny tickle and I'm going to stop at the halfway. Sorry, you guys, I can hardly see. Okay, so I'm still bringing it down here, but the whites of my eyes are still there. So this eye looks more open. And of course, you guys, the mascaras are what's going to finish that off. Now, I did put mascara on my eyes already today, but I got to pull that up so you guys can actually see what it's supposed to look like. There we go. So do you see the whites of my eye still? The white of that eyelid is there. Some people even have white eyeliner, and that's okay. I'm just not a fan of any eyeliner on the waterline when you're young, especially because it can create bacteria. Your tear ducts, that line is what your tears will use to send your tears to your tear duct. And if you put stuff down there, your tear duct gets plugged. You end up with black eye boogers, blue eye boogers, gray eye boogers, whatever eyeliner color you are wearing, you will have that color eye boogers right there that you got to pull out halfway through the day. So I know it's super subtle, but can you guys see the difference? Yay. Okay, please come off and give me questions, and then we'll stop the recording. Any questions? Go ahead and hop off mute and ask your question while I go to my glasses.
I always have a difficult time keeping the under eye eyeliner thin as I'm applying it.
Yes, yes, yes.
What's the trick?
That trick would be this. Let me go ahead and show you. What you would do is you would tickle that little bit on, and then you would use this brush right here, and you would blend it. And just let it soften the line so it stays thin. Also sharpening your liner. All of our liners have a sharpener. Sharpening it also works. Or using this brush from the beginning with your eyeliner. brushing this on your eyeliner and applying it if you really want it to be super soft. I'd rather do a couple of little dots and then just blend my dots together than attempting to apply it directly to this. Is that good, Christine? Did that help you? Yeah. And then sometimes I will even grab the smudge brush to smudge that liner. Okay. But because I love to take an eyeshadow of some sort and put it down there anyway, I tend to create with a shadow a thicker look, but not with the eyeliner. So my shadows down there, my eyeliner down there tends to be so minimal. But what I do is I'll take espresso with this brush and I'll use that down below instead. So lots of ways to make that soft, 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 soft. And as we start gaining more fine lines, smudging a little bit, not a dark, dark, dark brown. If you're really fair, hazelnut. If you're medium, go to cinnabar. If you are darker skin tone, you can go all the way to mahogany. But just using something else to smear down here before you put your eyeliner on makes it look like I don't know how to describe it. You're controlling where the shadow goes instead of being just a victim of where your shadows just are, you know. Good question. I'm going to stop that.